Hi, John here with his Media Tsunami Top 10 list. This time we're doing Heroes. If you'd like to follow up on what Matt and Scott are doing, you can find their top 10 list at our Facebook page, which you can see right down there at the bottom of the screen.
Number 10.
Starting off with my number 10, Vampire Hunter D. This is the second movie. There were two anime movies. This is the second one of which was created by a team of American and Japanese creators. And then you also had the novels that were very good. So Vampire Hunter D is a Dunpeel or Dampier. I've seen it written, pronounced, said several different ways. What that means is he's half human, half vampire, actually the son of Dracula, and he's taken it upon himself to rid the world of vampires, kind of like Blade from Marvel. Vampire Hunter D is a little different. He's a very stoic, very quiet individual, and he's a bounty hunter, so he's making some money off on the side doing it too. One of the things that makes Vampire Hunter D pretty unique and interesting is he has a little sidekick, but his sidekick is a parasite that actually lives in the palm of his hand. You can see him up there in that video. Weird characteristic.
Number 9.
Number 9 on my list is Master Chief from Halo, and I hold up Halo 2 because Halo 2 is the game that really got me going with the series, because originally I did have an Xbox. So Red Faction 2 was the first-person shooter of choice for me, but I had a friend in college who got Halo 2 when it first came out, and that's when I really started getting into it and really got engrossed with Master Chief's story, so much so that I even bought the novels, read through those. So one of the things that makes Master Chief make my top 10 list, the number 9 spot, is just what an all-around cool character he is. The armor, first of all, that is what you think of when you think of Master Chief, is specifically that armor, but there's more to the character than just the armor. He is that no-nonsense kind of guy who's going to get the job done and be a one-man army.
Number 8.
And number 8 on my list is Panthro of the Thundercats. The scientist, the engineer, the martial artist. Panthro is by far the coolest of all the Thundercats. He is the owner and creator of the Thundertake. What more do you need? But besides that, he also has a really cool cat claw nunchucks that I think were the coolest weapon that they had in that show. So, Panthro, number 8.
Number 7.
And number 7 on the list, we have Chumlee. Chumlee of Street Fighter. You might not think of her necessarily as a hero, but a very strong female character who really was a hero in the game. If you know anything about the backstory, well, depending on whether you're looking at anime, cartoon, the video game itself, she was either police, Interpol agent, detective, and so she was constantly fighting for the side of the law. And M. Bison, according to the video game, killed her father, and she enters the tournament as a way of bringing him to justice and getting revenge, which, as you can see in the gameplay, she eventually does up there. So, one of the first women of video game, and definitely one of my favorite women in video game.
Number 6.
Captain America, the leader of the Avengers and a martial arts master, even gave Spidey some training in the comic books. And how much more patriotic can you get than Captain America? And the Super Soldier Serum gave him superhuman strength, speed, agility, not to the level of some of the other superheroes. I mean, he's like peak human physical condition, and so that's pretty cool. He's not overpowered. The shield is awesome. The outfit is awesome. Not so much if you ever saw the old movies. Those are pretty ridiculous on his little motorcycle and his see-through shield. Not quite up to par with what they've done here recently.
Number 5.
Number 5 on my list, Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones, he's wearing a fedora. He has a whip. How much cooler can he be? It also doesn't hurt that he's played by Harrison Ford, who is known to do quite a few other cool characters. The thing that makes Indiana Jones so special to me is the fact that he is an archaeologist, he is a scholar, this brilliant guy who's also up for all the action and adventure, and that's what cements him on my list.
Number 4.
And number 4 on my list, we have Spock, live long and prosper. He's a science officer, one of the smartest guys in the group, always bases his decisions on logic and reason. He helps the other crew discover the importance of logic and reason, and the crew helps him discover the importance of maybe letting some emotion in to influence some of your decision making. The thing about Spock is he cares for his crew. He'll go the extra mile. He'll do the extra thing that needs to be done. Just look at the classic Wrath of Khan, second Star Trek movie, where he sacrifices his life for the good of the rest of the crew.
Number 3.
And number 3 on the list, Wonder Woman. Can you have a better female hero? I don't think so. Wonder Woman was the first, the original. I don't know if that's really true, but that's the way I think of her. She's the first one I was introduced to, and I've been in love with the woman ever since. Used to watch Linda Carter as a kid on the TV show growing up. And of course, you had her blocking all the bullets with the bracelets. You had her on Super Friends flying her invisible jet. Fun character, and definitely a great female representative in the hero category.
Number 2.
And number 2 on my list, another comic book classic character, Spider-Man. Spider-Man does whatever a spider can, and that was the first time I was introduced to Spider-Man from that song, and with the old 60s cartoon show where he'd swing all the way through the city on a single thread of web. Definitely not up to par with what later became one of my favorite shows, the 90s Spider-Man TV show. Love that too. Spider-Man can lift 10 tons, speed and agility enhanced by his spider powers, and is a scientist. Peter Parker is a scientist who was able to create his own web fluid, so that's another element that adds to his character, plus the fact that he's your everyday guy. He deals with the same struggles and troubles that everyone else does, and he sensed that responsibility. Even though he was a normal guy dealing with the same struggles, the same problems as all the other people, he realized he had this power, he had a responsibility that came with it, and he used it to help people.
Number 1.
And then finally, my number one that you might not think is necessarily a hero, but I find the most important trait in a hero is that they inspire you. And Rocky Balboa did that for me. I love the Rocky movies, 1 through 5, like them all. Of course, 5 isn't as great as the rest. Yes, we all know that, but it's okay. The Rocky story is one of the greatest stories of all time. The classic underdog tale where he comes against impossible odds to win. And talking about inspiration, whenever I'd see those Rocky training montages, there was nothing that got me more pumped. I was immediately outside the next day lifting weights, running, trying to get in shape. Of course, it'd wear off in 3 or 4 days. But for that time being, I was inspired, and I'd always looked up to Rocky. So there we have it, my top 10 hero list. If you think I left somebody out that was deserving to be on the list, more so than maybe some of the people I put, let me know. But again, this is an opinion thing, so there you have my top 10 list.